Previously, we created the uh, campuses page, and then we created add campus, and also we created the view campuses page. Now, in similar to that, we have to create add instructor and view instructor pages. So view instructor page is same as view campuses, like there is no any complexity, but add instructor page, there are some uh, form control inputs that that are a little bit different compared to what we used in the add campus page. So next, let's create the first we'll create the instructors page, and then we can create the add instructor page. So I will copy the campuses page first, and I will paste it, and I'm going to rename it to instructors. In this page, the two sidebar buttons should be, one is add instructor and the other one is view instructors. Next, I'm going to create the add instructor page. I will copy this instructors page and will paste it here, and then I will rename it to add instructor. So in this add instructor, there are two pages actually. First page, we are going to take the personal details of the instructor. Then in the next page, we can take the other details of the instructor. So I will change it to add ins. Let me rename it add ins personal. So to indicate that this page is related to the personal details of the instructor. And I'm going to change the class to inset to make it look like press this button, add instructor button. So we can copy the code from the add building page because we already added some text boxes and buttons inside a form. So I'm going to copy this div, which is in the main content class. So let me copy this div, and in the add ins personal page inside this div with the class main content, I'm going to paste it. Then I can customize it accordingly. So the first one is person code. And related text box ID is also person underscore code. Name also I will change to the same name, person underscore code. So this label has the 4 attribute. It is also referring to the person underscore code. So I will keep the placeholder blank as usual. So that's the first label and input text box. The next one is person. Actually, it should be first name. First name is the ID of the text box. And I will copy the same div again. Then I'm going to change it to middle name. Next, I will copy the div and paste it. So this time it should be surname. The next one is email. I can change the type here to email, so it will be easy to validate. Instead of text, I change it to email. Next, it's a drop down list, so I can change the text here to gender, and then instead of input, I will remove this input, and I'm going to add select. And I will give the ID here DDL gender, and in this select I'm going to add a class called form hyphen select. That's the related Bootstrap class for a select box. Inside this select I will add the options. So this first one is the selected one. That's why I added this. The next one is the date of birth. Here also I'm going to copy the previous text box, and I will change the label here to DOB. So in this input, the type should be date. When we click in that, in the icon of that, it will open the calendar. The next one is the user type. So it's also a select box. So I will copy this one and will paste it and change accordingly. So earlier I did not change the value for the options. So we have to have unique value for each option. So that's the left side of this form. So rest of the input elements should be in the right side. So to achieve that, we need to have two column layout in this form area. So what I'm going to do is I will remove this text area div. Also, I will remove this building location. So if you look at this area, we have a container, and inside the container we have a row, and inside the row we have a div with call MD6 and offset MD3. So I'm going to remove this offset MD3, and I can use another div with call MD6, because in the Bootstrap grid we can have uh, 12 columns. So inside this same row I can copy this div and paste it next to the current div. So in that second div, we can add the rest of the input elements. Only thing is we don't need another form here. So we will have to put that form outside of this column D6. So I'm going to remove this form tag in the second div. And also in the first div, we can cut this form and put it outside this both divs, inside the row, but outside these two divs with column D6. I'm going to do that. So I will cut this form and I will paste it just below the row, starting row, and the closing form tag, I can enclose the second div. Is this one. So we have done with the first div. Now I'm going to change the input elements in the second div with column D6. Here the label is for SSN, Social Security Number, and the text is also SSN, input type text. ID is SSN. And the next one should be a radio button. So to create a radio button, what we can do is, let me remove this label and input first. And in this div, I can create another div with class form hyphen check. And inside this, I'm going to create an input with class form hyphen check hyphen input, and the type is radio, and name I will give so this one is for the status, so I will give the name as RB status. So ID also I will give the same value. Actually, for the ID, I will give the because there are two statuses, active and inactive. For the ID, I will give active status for this one. And next we have to give the value. Value is this one. I can give the value as active. And we want to have a label also. The label comes below in this case. So label for active status. And the class that we need to add here, it's form hyphen check hyphen label, similar to form hyphen check hyphen input. Here the class should be form hyphen check hyphen label. And the text we need to put in between the label tags is active. Next, I'm going to copy this part and we'll paste it below. And this one, the name is same, the RB status, but the ID is going to be inactive status. And value also here, inactive, and class is same. And the label also I'm going to add the inactive status as the value for the for attribute. And this text going to be also inactive. So that's the radio button. So we want another radio button. So I'm going to copy this one and we'll paste it just below the current div. So this one is to specify whether account is locked or not. So the type is radio. This is RB. I will change it to locked. Locked status, maybe locked status. The ID here I will add as locked. Value also I will add here as locked. And so I will add the ID as locked status just to avoid the confusion between the ID and value. Then I'm going to use this ID in the label, the for attribute of the label, and the text I'm going to add as locked. In the second one, the name is same, but here the ID is going to be unlocked status. And the value is going to be also unlocked. And value for the for attribute for the label is going to be also unlocked status, and text is also unlocked. Next, LMS ID. So for that one, it's simple text box. So I'm going to put this LMS ID as the value for the for attribute. In the input text box also I will put the same value for the ID and the name, and that's done. The last one is going to be person notes. So we don't need these other divs, so I'm going to delete those. So this one is person notes. Type is going to be, actually this is not an input, so it is going to be a text area. So let me delete it and we'll add a text area. Name is going to be person notes. ID also same. And the button, we have to place it somewhere else. For now, I'm going to cut it for now. And let's open this page and see how it looks. So it is this one. So if we look at it now, it is right now showing like this. It's not showing side by side. So we have to fix that.